Right, so you've probably heard of ProductHunt. If you haven't, they're one of the most successful listing sites on the internet. And in today's video, I want to break down their SEO strategy and show you exactly how a quote-unquote simple business model that it is a listing website had such a great success in acquiring 100 million backlinks and leveraging UGC, so user-generated content, for acquiring organic traffic. So essentially relying on their own users to drive traffic to their platform. So it's super interesting. So let's break it down. For this, I'm going to be using a couple of tools, this one, and of course, Ahrefs. So let's get started with it. So first things first, what is ProductHunt? Essentially, it is a site where people, mostly indie hackers and people building their own small products, mostly software, can list their products here. As you can see, you can upvote them, you can see what they are, a little description, some images, and then there's the whole community aspect of it, which in my opinion is one of the most important factors of a listing website. It's not just the listings, but the community around it. And a bit of a tangent here, in the future, because of the commoditization of developers and all that, I really think that the businesses that will thrive are the ones that are heavily based around communities, around people, essentially. So moving on, that's ProductHunt. Pretty straightforward, quite a simple product. Of course, when I say simple, it doesn't mean that anyone can create a business like this. It's very, very hard, but the whole concept of how it works is somewhat simple. Now, simple doesn't mean easy, of course. Okay, so let's break it down. How do they acquire 100 million backlinks? That's a crazy amount of backlinks, and you can see here from Ahrefs that the number of backlinks that they have, and of course they've been around for a while, is close to 100 million. And if you don't do SEO, or if you're not really into the internet space, 100 million backlinks is a whole lot. So let's break it down. It's quite simple and an interesting strategy. So for example, when you go to any of these products, when you click any of these products, and I just click this one, right, you can visit their site. All of these ones, all these of course have a link to the, this was a ad. All these have a link to the product site, right? And on this site, if you scroll down to the bottom, these ones have it here, but if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the ProductHunt badge, right? And this is what ProductHunt came up with, the badge. And this is similar to the Trustpilot badge, right? If you go to a restaurant site or any other type of site that wants to convey trust, most of them display the Trustpilot badge, right? Because people and users trust Trustpilot, right? It gives the business that's displaying it three things. One is social credit, two is authority, and three is pride, right? Website owners and business owners are proud to present their Trustpilot reviews, right? We have almost a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. And business owners are proud because they know that users rely heavily and trust heavily Trustpilot. So businesses are proud to display it. Then, of course, it gives them authority, right? If customers trust Trustpilot, it gives a business authority to display high score Trustpilot review score, right? Only makes sense. And of course, social credit as well. Now, what ProductHunt did was replicate Trustpilot's badge in a way, right? But tailor it to these little software projects. Again, if you go to this website, for example, just to show you the random one, they have all these down here. They have ones for G2 as well. If you don't know, G2 essentially is a website that compares different types of softwares, right? So G2 is similar in doing the same thing, right? They're acquiring backlinks, and I'm sure they have hundreds of million backlinks as well, because they have hundreds of million products here. And people are probably displaying their little badges. And all these ones, right? It's something that business owners are proud of, that conveys trust to the product, because people and users trust Trustpilot, and people and users trust ProductHunt too, right? So this was how they were able to acquire 100 million backlinks, right? Most of these backlinks come from their own users. So they're UGC, user-generated content created backlinks, right? So as a listing website, right, because essentially ProductHunt is a listing website, they're leveraging their own users to give them backlinks. So it's essentially a circle, right? A closed circle. So people go on ProductHunt, right? They list their product, then ProductHunt links out to their user site, but then they link back to theirs, right? So it's an infinite loop. And that's how they're able to leverage their own users to build 100 million backlinks, right? Super, super interesting, super, super powerful. Now, that's the first thing I wanted to cover. Now, let's go over how exactly they're leveraging UGC for organic traffic, right? We have a lot to cover here. So you might see that for all their listings, they have a /alternative and /question pages. I'm going to show you those right now. So if we go here, for example, to Ahrefs, we see that a lot of these pages get 100, 600, 500, 400. So a lot of these /alternative pages, which they have a bunch of them, actually they have one for every single product get a lot of traffic. Of course, if you add all this up, it's a lot of traffic. Now what they're doing is they're creating alternative pages, as you can see here, /alternatives, for all the tools they have. Now, of course, not all the tools are that popular, so not all the tools are tools where people search for alternatives in, but because they're doing it for all of their tools, eventually the more popular, or some tools will pop off, becoming the more popular ones, and people will eventually search for alternatives. For example, I personally use remove background, remove.bg. It's a great tool, a free tool to remove a background, right? And let's say maybe I'm not really happy with the tool, maybe it's too expensive, maybe I don't like the quality, I don't know. I'm bound to search for an alternative. And Product Hunt is capitalizing on all of this, right? All these alternative pages, right? Which you'd think, how many people search for, I don't know, resume worded to alternatives, or I don't know, carted to alternatives. I don't even know what this product is, but some people know what it is, right? So it's important to capitalize on that. And that's exactly what they're doing with every single product of theirs. Now, what's more interesting is that on these alternative pages, they're linking to alternatives that are inside of Product Hunt. So they keep people inside of Product Hunt, right? It's an infinite circle. Super, super interesting. Now, if it were me, I would add a bit more juice to these pages, maybe add here a FAQ on exactly what the tool does, all that, to give just the pages a bit more juice. Now, speaking of FAQ, something else that they're doing, which I mentioned here, is questions, right? They have FAQs for all their products. If you go to producthunt.com/questions, right, you can see here this is infinite, right? This is infinite. This is like where they aggregate all of their, actually, maybe not infinite, maybe not just not loading, but this is where they aggregate all or the more popular FAQs every single product listing has. For example, if I click this one, and this one, these all lead me to the FAQ page for a certain product, right? Arbus Sleep Buds 2 Safe. If you click here, this comes from this product page, right? Again, this is a bigger brand, but you get my point, right? All of these, I'm going to try to open a smaller brand, for example, Glowforge last, right? What's this? This is a maybe lesser known product, but all these FAQs come from the product pages, right? So they're aggregating all these questions that people might have. Again, people that use these products that you might think that not many people use them, right? Just like the /alternatives pages, but the same people that are searching for alternatives may be also searching for questions for a specific product, right? And if we do this, you can see that the amount of traffic they're getting is huge, right? All these pages, the /questions pages, are getting a bunch of traffic, right? If you all add all this up, and these, not just about the traffic number here, it's about the search intent, right? Because people searching for alternatives or questions related to a certain product are people that are more willing to purchase something. Now that's super, super important. Something that's often overlooked is the search intent, right? Super, super important to know and target keywords that are buyer driven, right? And again, the alternatives pages and the questions pages are target keywords for people that are most likely wanting to buy or essentially buy something, right? Because why would you be searching for questions for a certain product or alternatives for a certain product if you weren't looking to at least give it a chance, right? So super, super interesting what they're doing with the / questions here as well. Now moving on, and again, I guess the blog is a given, right? All sites should have a blog. Now they also have a blog right here. They target multiple different topics around tech mostly, and if you go here, they call it stories, they don't call it blog. Their blog is getting almost 5,000 impressions. 1,200 organic traffic every single month. Now I did see that they only started really ramping up the blog this year, which is interesting, right? You can see clear move up right here. I'm sure they started pumping up a bit more content, but it's always a valuable thing to do, right? Because yes, blogs, or in this case stories, usually the content on here is less, talking about search intent now, is less buyer intensive, I guess, but it's still a great way to drive people to the brand, collect emails right here, of course, and then retarget the people. So it's super, super important to have a blog, even though the blog is more for informational based content. So that's what they're doing here with their blog pages. And that's essentially how Product Hunt has developed a SEO strategy that grew them to 100+ million backlinks, a domain rating of 91, which means essentially that it is a super, super powerful domain, organic traffic of almost 900,000 a month, and they were sold to AngelList in 2016 by $20 million, right? That was 6 years ago. So you can imagine how much they're worth now. It must be much higher than 20 million, but super interesting what they've done. Super interesting that they're leveraging their own community, both for backlinks and for content as well. And the most interesting thing, in my opinion, is that it is a quote-unquote simple, not easy business model, but it is a listing site. It all boils down to listing, because Product Hunt essentially is a site where people, not them, right, not Product Hunt, but people, users, list their own products, and then Product Hunt monetizes this how they want. So some sites take a fee, some sites ask you to pay a fee to list your product here, right? There's a different bunch of ways to monetize your listing website, but I won't go dive too deep into that. I just recorded the video on Airbnb. They monetize it through transaction fees, but they're more of a marketplace style listing website. But yeah, and of course, still super interesting to take a look at behind their SEO strategy and what they're doing, the backlinks they've acquired. So again, not all the backlinks come from their users, so not all of them are UGC. Some of them, for example, this one comes from WordPress, a bunch of ones come from Reddit, GitHub. So they have very, very powerful backlinks that don't come necessarily from their users, but most of them will come from the users, right? By the way, this tool, it's a good tool if you want to start diving into the SEO world to get some key insights on any domain. But the true value of this is this keyword rank tracker right here, which essentially allows you to add unlimited keywords and track unlimited keywords for unlimited domains. So super, super valuable. If you do SEO, any type of SEO, and you're not tracking your progress, you're doing something wrong. It's very, very important to track your keywords, because if you don't track your keywords, right, if you don't measure it, because you cannot track what you don't measure, you won't be certain that the backlinks you build, the content you created in your SEO strategy, the optimizations you did, the technical optimizations are having any effect if you're not targeting your keywords. I have your example, if you can see here, some of the keywords here for vetted.com. This just serves as an example, but yeah, some of these are ranking. Again, I did want to mention this in this short video. Yeah, that's it. If you're interested somewhat in learning how to create, not learning, but actually creating a listing site like Product Hunt, I'll leave a link for this in the description. We're just developing this right now. We'll give you a lifetime access for this service, which essentially in a couple of minutes allows you to create a direct to website with zero transaction fees, unlimited listings, users, all that, connecting your domain. Essentially allows you to dive into the business of creating a listing website and making money with it. That's our offer. That's what I wanted to let you know before I go. So I'll leave a link for this in the description if you're interested again in diving a bit into this world of business and listing website business. That's that. And of course, once you're up and running, once your site is up and running, so your directory site is up and running, you're going to need some SEO. You're going to need to get some organic traffic to it. Of course, yes, paid traffic is also a good thing, but organic traffic is also great. So for that, you can use vetted.com. You have a bunch of professionals here that know what they're doing. You can buy backlinks, you can buy content. You can have someone develop a tailored SEO strategy for you to rank your listing site higher and higher. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.